Alright, since I'm here working and I'm sweaty already, I'm going to go ahead and change the spark plugs in this motor. I went ahead and picked them up yesterday when I was looking for the pulley, and luckily Tractor Supply had a real big selection of spark plugs, so I kind of went economy on these. Big shout out to Tractor Supply. They threw in a free hat with it. I'm always needing hats. So these are Stens. I've never even heard of them, but like I said, they were economy. The Cadet brand was probably twice what these were. So I just went with the cheaper ones just because, and to my knowledge, this thing has never had the spark plugs changed in it. My dad bought this, I think, in 2014. This is a 2013 model. And he serviced it, changed the oil. I serviced it and changed the oil, but I've never thought about the spark plugs being ready for change. And then here last year, it got to where if it runs for a little while, it's really hard to get started back if you ever shut the engine off. And so I thought I'll start with spark plugs. It may actually need the carburetor cleaned, but I'm not sure. And if it does, I'll do a video on that. So what we're going to start out with, these lawnmower spark plugs are going to be a little different than, say, like your truck spark plugs or car spark plugs. They'll normally be a 5/8 inch socket, and a lawnmower is normally a 13/16 or 3/4. I just have an old 13/16 socket, and that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to start by taking the old ones out, but first you have to get the spark plug wires off. There'll be two. Well, on this one it's a twin cylinder engine. There's one right here. I don't know if you can see it. There is another one right there. So on this 23 horse Kawasaki, it has two. It's a twin cylinder. So now these spark plug wires are, sometimes they can be hard to get off. These don't feel like they're going to be hard, but if you feel like they're stuck, just kind of twist them a little bit and you can kind of feel them break loose. And it really depends on if they've ever had dielectric grease put on them or not. If they have, they normally won't be stuck. So, and these wasn't, luckily, so we'll get right at it. That wasn't too tight. There is a wasp trying to get all up on me. Guess I could use my new Tractor Supply hat to swat it with. Get out of here. Alright. That spark plug, it doesn't look terrible, but it is pretty corroded. You can tell just from wear, a lot of carbon buildup. And our new one, nice and shiny. And I'm sure in a perfect world, a perfect mechanic would gap these, but I'm going to trust Stens to be gapped correctly. We'll see. And one thing you do want to remember on just about all newer mowers, really a lot of any engines if you're working on them, the block, the cylinder heads, intake manifold, just about everything is aluminum. And aluminum will strip out. It will cross thread very easily. Then when you do that, or if you do that, you have a whole bunch of other problems that's fixing to be in your way. So always be mindful what you're doing. Be mindful of how tight you're getting it. Like I said on the deck, I'm sure there's a torque spec, but as long as you kind of crush that washer down a little bit, they don't have to be super tight. Reinstall that plug wire. Adjust the camera. This one I left in the pack so you could kind of see what the packaging looks like. I've never seen one like this. I guess it's because for gosh, the last 100 years, Champion is who made most lawnmower spark plugs. I already have that plug wire off. And you see that it broke loose real easy. So these things are not, they're not supposed to be super tight. But like I said, there probably is a torque spec. That one, same way, a little corroded from just carbon. And I mean, there is an explosion happening in that combustion chamber, you know, so many times, really, gosh, a minute. Say if it's running 1,000 RPMs, that thing is exploding 1,000 times a minute, you know, maybe 500 if it's 4-stroke, 2-stroke, lots of different engines, but there's a lot of heat in there. And then when you ignite the fuel and air, which is what gives you the ignition and the explosion, it's going to cause carbon. And that's what you get, is that kind of black soot. And like I said, they're not in terrible shape. There's that wasp nest. Get out of there. But anyway, that's all there is to changing spark plugs in a mower. I'm sure this thing needs an air filter. Let's check it out real quick. Ooh! Maybe that may be my next project. Because out here in Mississippi, it's pretty dusty in the summertime. It gets really dry. Which we have high humidity, but of course that doesn't help the dust at all. All right. Let's see how this baby runs. Now, it may crank now. It may be tough to crank because I did just crank it a few minutes ago just to kind of see how the pulley sounded. So let's see what we got. I'm not going to choke it since it's been running. So it still was a little hard to crank. I may have to clean the carburetor out in a future video. Let me know what y'all think. If there's anything else you would like to see, just shoot me a comment or a message on the video, and I'll try to do what I can. Because like I said, this is the kind of stuff I do all the time. And I just decided to start videoing it. I mean, I work on not mowers, but just kind of upkeep things. I'm going to be doing a few oil change videos on a couple of different vehicles that I have. Just kind of do some instructional type things. So, but yeah, changing a idler pulley on your drive belt and changing spark plugs, it's not really that hard at all. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video of the old Cub. I'll continue to work on it and upload videos, so leave me a like and comment, give me a subscribe if you want to on Landon Tries It. And like I said, if there's anything, it doesn't have to be lawnmower related. I like to cook. If you want to see me try to cook anything, just let me know. I'm always into different projects, different things like that. So yeah, just leave me a comment or a question, anything you want to know, and I'll do my best. I'm not the #1 fix-it guy, but I really saved a lot of money over the years doing this kind of stuff for myself. So kind of self-taught, and maybe I can help somebody out there in the old internet land. So yeah, y'all stay tuned for the next one. Later.